Right, welcome back to T-Boys TV, episode 1 of this new show. As you can see, it's going to be a show, as you can see, talking about Luton. I'm here with my dad to start off, obviously, Luton fan. Hopefully, as we keep doing these, we're going to try to do these once a week. Hopefully, as we keep progressing and doing these, we can get other Luton fans on, you know what I'm saying? But as you can see, it's just a show. We're going to be talking about Luton. It's probably going to be in the future, it's going to be like 2 hours at most. You know what I'm saying? But tonight, I don't think it'll be fairly long. But we'll just see how it goes on. But yeah, how are you, Dad?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm all good. Obviously, we're gonna start off with how because it's episode 1. Tell the people how you started supporting Luton.
Basically, I was about what was I? About 8.
Yeah.
I was into football,
Yep.
from a young age and that, but I didn't really support anyone.
Yeah.
I didn't support anyone. Everyone around me were like supporting, Liverpool, Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm trying Aston Villa. I think there was even Man United mostly. So
Make sure
basically, like
there's no Watford fans.
this, no, not in Luton, mate. But this was like before the Premier League as well, yeah. So it's like the top league, yeah. And I was like, well, all right, I'm going to support. Who am I going to support? And I was like, right, I'm going to support my local team. Innit? Luton were in the top league at the time,
Yeah.
And there was a couple of Luton fans, but there should have been more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially
But
in Luton.
But it is what it is. But so yeah, I decided to support them, and that season as well. I think it was like because they kept being on the news and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, we had like Anglia News, it was called, and they always used to do the sport and that. So I'd have like localish, you know what I mean? So they'd have like Luton on there, Cambridge, Peterborough, Ipswich, Norwich, all them sort of teams. And so I was just like, I'm going to support Luton. And that year they were in the League Cup final.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, and they won.
Yeah, the one at Wembley, weren't it? It was called like the Littlewoods Cup back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then they won it. Well, they didn't win it, sorry. They got to the final the following season, but lost to Forest.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I started supporting them then. But I used to listen to them on the radio, like BBC Three Counties during the midweek games and that, and obviously on the weekends as well, and then sometimes they'd be on the TV.
Yeah,
I was watching it on a black and white TV. But they always used to be on TV against Watford.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, innit?
99% of the time, we'd be beating them anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, from there, and I was just hooked.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Local team, it's only right, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. Like say, my sister, one of my sisters, she obviously likes Luton now, but she started off supporting Man United.
Yeah, that's mad to think. Considering the team she supports now, it's mad.
Yeah, I was like, "You're a glory hunter. What you doing? And that." And and then she stopped and she started supporting Tottenham. I don't know what the reason is. Just not many girls are into football anyway, especially you know what I mean. Then she started supporting him. So she had like posters of like Teddy Sheringham and do you know what I mean? Gary Mabbott, all these older generation players.
Yeah.
And so been into football for a long time, mate, as you know.
Yeah, obviously I've had experiences with Luton when I was younger, but obviously I weren't really into football like that. Remember that time?
But also,
Go on.
Also, as well, like I weren't brought up. Do you know what I mean? To like, stepdad and that he weren't into football. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was just something I liked from from school, from like young age and that. So whereas you brought up football soon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
So
literally.
different. So
Yeah.
no, Luton's just my team. And that's it.
Exactly. Fair enough. But yeah, as I was going to say, like the memories. Remember the cup final at Wembley against Scunthorpe? Luton scored. It's like crying.
Yeah, that's. I think. Well, that wasn't your first Luton game. I think it was your first. Well, first time at New Wembley.
Yeah.
First major, game. We was right high up. There was
Yeah,
like
and that as well. I'm not the biggest fan of heights.
yeah, he was. I think he was about 5 or something.
Yeah.
40,000 Luton fans there.
Mate, that's what we're talking about.
Luton scored. You didn't know what was going on.
Nah.
So yeah, but
And we
since
won
then,
it as well.
yeah, it's a brilliant game.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant game.
Looking back at the
And that,
highlights, because
and
obviously,
that,
as I
and
said,
that
go on.
that was the season we got relegated from the football league as well.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I've been on journeys. Do you know what I mean? With
Trust
my
me.
team, big journeys that a lot of these people, like, for whatever reason, support their big teams or whatever, fucking Premier League teams and that. They
Yeah.
ain't really been on them journeys.
No.
You know what I mean? The only journeys certain ones have been on is where they've just suddenly got a load of money
Mm,
and then they started winning leagues and that. That's it, really. Do you know what I mean? It's not really a journey, is it?
yeah.
It's just
No.
money.
It's just
It's
money.
just
Yeah.
money.
Exactly.
You know.
But yeah, obviously the madness with the 30 points deduction.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And
and then
even I thought that we'll be straight back up, mate. We'll smash that league. We didn't. It took us 5 years to get out.
yeah. But
And other clubs have
that's got to be one of
come.
the greatest comebacks in
Well,
football.
we'll
Like
be if
that.
we get to the Premier League.
Yeah.
And people ain't talking about it. That's on a part. That'd be more of what Eddie Howe done for Bournemouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Because what people forget as well, or don't realise, especially like when I've heard some Bournemouth fans chatting and saying we should be beating teams like Luton. When we had that 30-point deduction, they had a 17-point deduction
Yeah.
less, and they survived.
Yeah.
And we took them all. They went on one way, we went the other. And now we're in the same league, so they need to. And we were always better than Bournemouth.
Yeah, facts. And even what you showed me the other day, the points system thing.
Yeah. If you go into the old, so you can look at the all-time Premier League table. Obviously, Luton ain't in that, but then you can look at the all-time top, league, which was running for what 50, 60 years before that. So Division 1, whatever you want to call it, the top league. Been going for a lot longer than the Premier League, and we're in that, and we're above quite a lot of teams. So
Yeah. A lot of teams that have been in the Prem for a decent amount of while as well.
and also, like, with the Bournemouth thing, I don't like Eddie Howe. He done that. It's similar to the Nathan Jones in a way.
Yeah.
Because Eddie Howe also left Bournemouth
Yeah.
for one season to go. I can't remember who he went to.
It was a team that were in the Prem, innit? It was like
I'm not
Burnley or someone like that.
possibly, and then he left. He didn't work out, and he went back to Bournemouth and continued the journey that he took them on. Basically, similar size stadiums, similar, finances at the time. It would have been.
Yeah.
So it's parallel in that. But I think Nathan Jones is possibly a better manager than Eddie Howe. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, no,
But
I definitely could see that. But yeah, as you say, it's one of them things we have to wait and see. You know what I mean? Now what I'm going to ask you, what do you think? What do you think about the this season so far?
so far,
Yeah,
so good.
yeah,
We made 8 new signings.
yeah. That was mad.
Signed attacking, athletic, direct players.
Yeah,
Which is what you need in the championship at the higher levels, but especially in the championship. Aggressive, forward thinking, young, and experienced. We brought in a couple of experienced players just to help the team. Jerome Lansbury, players that have played at them levels most of their career. We had a couple of injuries to start the season, but we're where I expected us to be at the moment.
yeah.
And
Especially when you bring in that many good players and that many changes.
Yeah, and they haven't all. We've had, like I said, we've had a lot of injuries. So a lot of them might have started early season, then got injured. They haven't featured since, or so they've all got to still gel. A couple of them are still, you're waiting to see their full potential. But you see, in all of them,
players like Fred.
Yeah, you've seen flashes of it. So they're only going to get better, i.e. Adebayo, when we signed him last season. I think it was January. He scored a couple of goals for us, but you could see he was a little bit raw still coming from League Two to the Championship. But you can see that he's definitely a Championship player, 100%, and he's still young. So we'll see how he develops. And the others, like Mendes Gomez, he hasn't really started that much.
No,
A little in, but he has. But he was, basically, he was. I think he was Morecambe's top scorer last year. Helped him get promoted.
Yeah, I was about
League
to say
One. I don't
Wembley.
even. Yeah, in the final, I don't even think they've been that high up in the league before, to be honest. So, again, that's a big jump for him. But I've seen he's obviously got the talent.
Yeah,
but he's just got to come in and stake his place in that team, because other players, because they've got the competition, the players that are already there, Cornick and Clark and certain players, they're stepping up their game because they don't want to be on the bench. So, but yeah, they're where I expected them to be. The performance is 95% have been what you'd expect. Under Nathan Jones as well. Even if we haven't won, or we've narrowly we've gave even West Brom and Bournemouth give them run for their money.
Yeah, facts.
So, and not we've still got to play Fulham yet. They've probably got the best squad in the Championship, I would say. So that'll be another gauge of where we're at, basically. But we're it's definitely the best team that we've had since 2005, I'd say.
Yeah, obviously I can't comment like you, but yeah, this is a really good Luton side.
It's better. It's probably better. Like, that was a good team. And that was before we started getting all the points deductions and relegations and whatever. But that ain't gonna happen now, because we're run properly. We've got fans that own the club, and they're not gonna go and spend, stupid money or pay stupid wages to try and get into the Premier League. They're gonna do it properly, recruiting well,
Yeah.
and
For me, I think it's going to be similar to Brentford in a way.
yeah. Well, we're basically about, I'd say, 3 years behind them.
Yeah,
Maybe not even that, but as a gauge, we're probably a couple of years behind where they were. Because it took them that they started building up, and then got a few seasons losing in the playoffs before they eventually, get, and they're holding their own, and they will.
yeah,
And it'll be interesting to see how they recruit in the summer, because some teams get that first season kind of syndrome, whatever you want to call it, where they do well the first season, and the next season they just capitulate and they ended up getting relegated.
yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen to them.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, as we said, they have done really well so far. They've surprised a lot of teams. You know what I mean? But obviously getting a draw to Liverpool, unlucky against Chelsea. They and the thing with them as well, none of their players going into this season have played in the Premier League ever.
I don't know. I can't confirm that, but that's the case.
Yeah, no, literally. Not, well, maybe like at youth, like like the youth sort of ones, but not like proper. I know one of their players. I think one of their midfielders. He was at Liverpool, but he weren't like. He was like more in the under 23s.
Yeah, I think a lot of their players they've probably been in and around Premier League clubs or top level clubs in Europe or whatever, but they haven't, been in the first team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's the way they recruit, because a lot of these clubs they just hold on to these players. You know what I mean? They sign them and just hoard them and just don't. You know what I mean? They don't get into the first team. They're just sitting there doing nothing, and they're wasting their careers. Where they should just drop down the league, drop down a couple of leagues. You need that experience. You need to be playing football, like competitive football. You know what I mean? Not like under 21s, under 23s. Like it's not going to it's not developing enough. So
yeah, no, definitely. What we'll touch on now is obviously the previous games. We're going to touch on the previous two, and then we're going to talk about the upcoming game. We'll start off obviously with the last game out of the lot, the Millwall game. Now, obviously, Luton didn't have a very good record there. That seemed to be a bogey team. Obviously, didn't beat Millwall at the Den since 1999, and we went there with a lot of confidence, and we got a 2-0 victory with a clean sheet. Cornick, what a performance. I'll let you analyse what you had to say about that game first before I do.
Well, yeah, like I say, we haven't won there for ages, but the thing is, there's been a few teams like that since we've been in the Championship where we haven't beaten since such and such, or
Yeah, and then like
we've been doing
and his team have came and broke the records.
Yeah, and they're always a tough team to beat. They're
Definitely.
they're established Championship side, but they just they need that little bit more impetus or whatever to push on to the next level. You know what I mean? Because they've got a decent stadium and that they've got a brilliant following. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's true.
So they're always tough to play, and that's what we want to be like.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the games before, they just always, especially over the last couple of seasons as well. Like I think we went 1-0 up, played really good.
Scotty Bradley, and then they won 3-1. Yeah, that was on TV. That was.
Just couldn't beat them.
No.
And and they hadn't lost. I don't think they was on an unbeaten run, 7 games or something.
Yeah.
You know, they had more possession. You know, they played all right, but I think they because they were at home, they expected just if we just play our game, then we should be all right, kind of thing. But they weren't. We just pressed them and hit them on the counter and all that.
Yeah, like the first goal, Luton cut them open, then Cornick had space and a brilliant finish.
Our midfield, was just sharper, but just looking to press forward. 2 assists for Clark.
Yeah,
2 good finishes from Cornick, who's just
second one. He slotted it in the corner.
Yeah, brilliant finish.
And we were saying off camera, we think that was the harder one to finish.
Yeah, it was. Because you know,
there was a player on him, whereas the first one he had time. Yeah.
And then obviously Sluga.
Yeah, I was going to say,
You know, saved a free kick. Their midfield
back. So that was going top right corner, and then he saved a penalty as well.
And that you know, things like that help us. Do you know what I mean? Because the defence is confident in the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper's pretty confident in the defence at the moment. And that's you know, that's a good sort of, you know, spine, backbone to the team, and they can trust each other like that. You can rely on him, not like they have to rely on him, but they know things like that. He's a good keeper. You know,
good keeper.
I think he's our most expensive signing.
Yeah, he is.
You know, and he's a bargain. You know.
Yeah.
Really, pay $1.5 million, I think, pay for him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He had a shaky start to his first season.
But as we've said before, that was due to him getting used to English football.
Yeah, exactly that. That's all it is. And he's just proving, you know, a quality asset. And the clean sheets, we're keeping more clean sheets.
Yeah.
Haven't
we got the most clean sheets in the league?
He has, I think. Yeah.
Oh, he has. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I don't know about us, but yeah. So you know, they were expecting that. You know, but you go after the penalty miss, a lot of their fans started leaving. You know, I think that's probably a bit harsh. You know, but the problem is, well, it's not even a problem. I like it. The fact that we've got this, you know, we should be beating teams like Luton kind of nonsense. It just works in our favour. So carry on with that, because you know we'll carry on doing what we're doing. You know, not all teams are doing it. I mean, the game before that, Huddersfield come to us and just sat back, especially in the first half.
I was at that game.
Yeah, just sat back because they knew they didn't want to lose, and that's it. And that's what you want. I know they've been in the Premier League, you know. You know, they're a decent team, and that's what we're going to start. Teams are going to start doing that. They done it in League One. They've done it in League Two. You know, when we was tearing teams apart, it's like, oh, well, better be careful here. You know, that team spirit, and it's just a mentality.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And the players believe in the manager, and the manager believes in the players, and it works. It works. So yeah, they all played well.
One thing I was going to touch on from that game, well, it's not even from that game, it's just in general about Cornick. And we've said it. Now, obviously, he's missed some, like, terrible, like, goals he should be scoring. But then, if he improves his shooting, which it looked like he had been from that game, he's got everything else to his game. He, as Sonny Bradley said, he could be a Premier League player.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. He's got the technique, he's got speed. You know, he's got the crossing, you know, dribbling. You know,
Yeah.
and he's adding that to his game. It's not even like, I mean, the first season he was in the Championship, I think he scored 9 goals.
Mm.
So he's obviously got it in his locker. I mean, after that, I don't know. You know, mate, I don't know what it was. Do you know what I mean? Lack of form, innit? He didn't score until the last game of the season, I think. But
Uh,
yeah,
it was
you know, and
near
he's
the end.
missed.
It was the comeback against when it Bristol City or something like that.
Yeah, so I think he's got 6 goals this season, and he could have had more. You know, I think he's hit the post a couple of times, crossbar, missed some absolute sitters as well. You know, he could
Yeah.
probably
Like
and he
Swansea, for example, when I was at that game.
yeah he'll get into double figures. He's a certain starter at the moment,
Yeah, definitely.
and teams are scared of him as well. Like his pace, a lot of teams can't handle him. You know, and that's what we want. And he's another one who's been with us, I think, since League Two,
Yeah,
or maybe League One. I'm pretty sure League Two.
I think it's League Two. I think it was.
And yeah, and I don't even think we need. We'll probably sign someone in January as well.
You reckon, yeah?
Midfielder, another midfielder, yeah. But other than that, I think we're pretty covered. And I think they're aiming for the playoffs.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
does
mean?
seem like it, doesn't it?
Not
Yeah.
not sort of openly, but underneath. I think they believe they're capable of getting there. And I don't mind. I don't mind if we get to the playoffs and lose. It doesn't. That sounds silly in that, but it's progress, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
We're showing that we're every single season. I think for the last, I don't know, 7 years or something, we've improved. We finished higher than we did the season before.
Yeah.
So we're not sort of stagnating. We're not being a yo-yo club from League One to the Championship. That's gone now. I'm saying it's not impossible to get relegated because it can happen, but the way we're being run and the way we're recruiting and things like that, keeping hold of Nathan Jones as well, it's only going to go one way, and that's just going up eventually. But hopefully, it comes when we've got the new stadium built.
Yeah, that'd be great timing, won't it?
So if we do get promoted to the Premier League, then and we've got a brand new stadium to, fill, and again, that'd be tough for teams to go there because it's a new stadium. You don't know what what I mean. The atmosphere will be mental.
Trust me, it's mental now of 10,000. Imagine it of 20,000.
Exactly. So yeah, well, the only way is up.
Yeah. Well, the next game we're going to touch on is obviously the game from yesterday. Now, Derby obviously had the point stuff. They obviously they're bottom, but that's due to the points thing. But they're doing well. Like they rarely concede. I mean, they conceded 2 yesterday though, but it finished at their ground 2-2 with Luton. Now the first half, that was not great, was it?
Nah, the first half they just didn't. I mean, he went for because he said Nathan Jones said that he might make changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, that's either going to be formation or personnel." We got 3 games in all. We got busy scheduled and that, but he didn't. He kept exactly the same team that beat Millwall. I guess he was thinking, they deserved it. But I think they were a bit too casual. You know, Derby were at us in our faces and that, and we just sort of they just outbossed us out in the first half. We just didn't play like we normally would. He made 2 subs in half an hour.
Yeah, I was about to
Lansbury,
say.
was it? Naismith got a yellow card, so he took him off.
Bring on Fred
Put Fred on.
and Muskie for Clark.
Yeah, Clark as well. Yeah, I think Clark didn't have a great first half. You know, half an hour either. But maybe he was just he put in such a good performance in the previous game that maybe he was a little bit leggy. You know,
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time weren't working. But he makes them decisions. He don't sit there and think, oh, we'll just get to half time and
yeah. He don't mess about. He
take the
gets
play.
them done.
If he thinks
Like as soon as.
it's not working, he's got it wrong, or they're not performing. He makes the decisions rightly or wrongly. And obviously at half time, he went straight down the tunnel. Do you know what I mean? Like laid into him, come out, got the equaliser straight away in the second half.
Yeah,
And then
on your dimmer, Fred.
kind of
Obviously,
shoddy, like there's bundled it in basically, but he wanted it. He was hungry for it, and he scored. So, and then they got another goal. Maybe Sluga should have done better. Maybe he should have been closed down before. They got some decent players, man.
yeah, they do.
And they actually would be like mid-table themselves if they didn't get the points deductions. I think Rooney's actually doing a pretty good job considering all the crap.
Yeah.
That they're only allowed to sign certain players or certain wages and all this stuff. They've actually got some decent players.
Even
so
Nathan Jones said that in the press conference, didn't he?
Yeah, so they got it back, and then we just kept continuing to press.
Yeah.
When their keeper will come rushing out. Adebayo got his head on it, just placed it over the keeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over the keeper. Brilliant, good goal. Yeah, like again, but you was going for it. Do you know what I mean? And we fight to the end.
Yeah.
And it's just sometimes in the championship you get punished, isn't it? If you make a little mistake, Bradley did in the first half. Pass to him. Pass was decent to him. He should have, passed it on or whatever. I just got caught in possession, slipped over, and they just jumped on it. And that's what you're going to get at these levels. And you can't make them mistakes. You might get away with it in League One, but you ain't getting away with it in the Championship. But he's decent. Other than that, he's been exceptional this season.
Exceptional. Obviously, as you'd have seen, I went to the Blackburn game. He was a beast when he come on.
Yeah, I watched it on
TV.
I
rung you at half time when it was shocking, but then when he come on, mate, he was winning everything.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't have his best game, but that happens. That happens. You know what I mean? It's just he's probably still a little bit behind the other players as well. Maybe. Do you know what I mean? Because he was injured at the start. He had COVID, I think, actually. So give him that as well, and he's played a lot of games recently as well. So we'll see. Maybe he'll be rested on Saturday. He's captain.
Obviously, we'll touch on that.
I'm not sure he will be now, because if he would have been, Naismith would have been the captain, but he's got 5 yellow cards, so he's not going to play. So we're going to be probably changing formation anyway, because be interesting. If he goes 3 at the back or 4. Because Bell's been playing well, and he's playing him as a wing back, but we're going to need someone on the left now. So it'll be interesting to see who starts on Saturday. But yeah, like fighting spirit, come back.
I'd like to big up all the Luton fans that travelled as well. Over 1,000, well, just over 1,000 midweek as well.
Yeah, I think there was 20,000, fans there.
Yeah.
In the stadium. The noise, you could hear them. Like, obviously, I listened to it on the radio and that, but it sounded like a proper good atmosphere. And again, like, fair play to Derby. They're going through all this rubbish, which, it's been brought on by overspending and the usual nonsense of trying to get into the Premier League. Hopefully they'll be right, because I like Derby. They always used to be in the, whatever it's called then, Ensley League Division 1 or whatever, but they always used to beat us. We haven't beat them since '99. We still haven't beat at their ground anyway. We still haven't, but they were always our bogey. I remember when I was younger, it was like, and we ain't going to win that. They just always beat us. And it's just annoying.
Yeah.
But, and they've been in the Premier League and that before. They've got good support, good following. It'd be, I don't want to see them go down now. I know a lot of people don't be saying it's their own fault and all that. It's not really. It's just the way the club's been run, isn't it? But as well, I think they'll stay up anyway.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because how many points was it? It was
12.
12, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great if they.
I think they've still got to prove a few things. Right, because they still haven't got any money or whatever. I'm not sure what's going on. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully they don't get more. Well, do you know what I mean? Like, the problem is we got that massive 30 points. No one's ever got that. Probably ever will get that. And that's a lot of fans, but we went into administration twice, I think, in the space of like 2 years or something. Do you know what I mean? So that was their excuse for punishing us. Whereas, Derby have it's the fair play stuff. But this was before all that was brought in as well. Like, there was more to it. We'll get into it now, but there was more to it while we got them deductions, I think. But that's done. So we ain't gonna get that now. And so we're just gonna keep with that fighting spirit, like, and the players you can see how together they are, when we equalise and all that. Do you know what I mean? They're all like, you can see how much of a team they are when they're celebrating and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And you can
Not
see
about
the passion
individual
in Nathan Jones's face. You know what I mean? Coming over to the crowd every time. You know what I mean? Like, certain managers just don't really, like, you can see that he proper loves this club. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, obviously we're going to touch on the next game. You know what I'm saying? We'll be both going to that. Your first ever live championship game. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, about time. Like I say, obviously when they were first in there, they just couldn't get any tickets. Just constantly sold out. And then COVID happened. So obviously no games. And this season they just seem to be, I think still because of a bit of COVID stuff and that. So there is more seats available and that. Obviously you've been to a few games. I haven't really been able to go to any.
Oh mate, I love it, mate. Love it. Cheap, good price tickets as well for championship football. Like,
yeah, well, they'll go up at some point, but still better. Even if we're in the Premier League, they ain't going to be charging 40 quid a game, are they?
No.
30s.
But yeah, we're taking on Hull. You know what I'm saying? Hull are 21st, not having a great season. They come back up, didn't they?
Yeah. So basically, I think that when they went down, they were doing all right, and then near the end of the season, they just went to free fall. I don't know what happened. So they're probably too good to go down. Obviously went straight back up, won the league. Yeah, they won the league. So obviously they were. and they started off all right. We signed one of their players.
Yeah,
From
Lockyer, what a player he is.
no, not Lockyer, Burke.
Yeah, that's
Reece
what I
Burke.
meant. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
see, two
um,
centre backs. See what I'm saying?
yeah. You know, he's featured a couple of times for us, and he's done all right. But obviously, Bradley's come back, club
Yeah,
captain. That you know, Lockyer's been playing well, so he's just ahead of him in the pecking order or whatever. But it would have been interesting to see him play against Hull, his old team. And he still might, you know, who knows? But
yeah,
and they signed a player from us, Moncur.
yeah.
So
George
it'd be
Moncur.
interesting to see if he starts for them. That could be a possibility. So that'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, they did sign a couple of players, but I think they're struggling,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're at home. We've been playing
Obviously,
well.
we're ninth, by the way, people. I'll let you finish off what you're saying in a
Yeah,
sec.
well, I'm
But
waiting because there's a couple of games tonight, so we might drop down. So
I'll
I'm going to wait.
oh,
Uh,
right, okay.
but
Yeah, if
you
we
know,
win, if we're to win this game, we could go in the playoffs.
we could, but it all depends what other results are. But you know, we'll be
Yeah,
up. You know, we'll be close. You know, a point behind, or you know, within a game's reach of getting in the playoffs. And I think we've got Preston after that.
I believe it is. Let me
We're
just.
also struggling, but no, I expect us to win.
Yes, it is. By the way.
Um, yeah, no game's easy in the championship. They're not going to just
No.
come and let us and roll over. But as long as we're consistent, we're not complacent. We know that you know we play like we have been playing, and don't expect to beat them. I'm expecting us to beat them. Like, that's based on the way we've been playing and you know, with scoring.
Oh,
Um,
talking about Hull, they've just conceded to Peterborough.
yeah, oh yeah, that as well. They're playing tonight, so
Yeah.
you know we're gonna have an extra day's rest. Um, they're playing Peterborough. Both of them teams are struggling.
Mm.
So you know that's going to take a bit out of them as well. So again, that's another reason. You know, they they're going to be, especially now they've got to fight back from 1-0 down. Um, we should have enough. Put it that way. If we play like we've been playing, we'll beat them.
Yeah. Well, before you drop a score prediction, because I know you're about to do that with the way you're carrying on. What lineup would you play if you could choose?
Well, it's going to be. It
And
depends
I'll
what
drop the
formation
lineup.
he's going to go out with. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Sluger in goal.
Yeah.
Bradley will probably start. Bree will start right. You know, right back. But it all depends if he's going to go three at the back.
Just do whatever you would
It'd
do.
probably, it'd
You would
probably go.
want to
Yeah,
do.
I'll probably have Bell on the left. Bradley,
Yeah.
Lockyer, Bree, and then probably 3-3 in it. So
Yeah.
midfield would probably be. I think Barry might deserves to get back into that team. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe Lansbury, Berry, and Ruddock, and then obviously Cornick, Adebayo, and then don't know, maybe I don't know. What he's gonna do with that left side, but I'd put maybe Fred.
Yeah. That's a shout.
Um, yeah, or Clark. But Clark's last couple of games has been playing, you know, sort of the number 10 position.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
can play
Yeah.
on the left. So, but I think he might put Fred on because he's caused a lot of problems, and I know he'll call if we've got
Hull have
that.
already equalised.
But there you go. Yeah. But Peterborough, you know, both of them teams are struggling. You know, they're letting in goals constantly. I'll be very surprised if we don't score against them. Put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, we've kept a few clean sheets. Well, we did previous to last night, but you know that just showed that was a couple of mistakes, and that, you know, that's what happens.
Yeah.
But if we switched on, the crowd pressure, it's a long journey for them. I don't know if they're at home tonight. It must be.
Yeah, they're at home. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so they've got to travel down. They'll know what you know. I think that they might come for a draw.
A bit like Huddersfield, do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I mean Huddersfield are in the playoffs. Do you know what I mean? They come to draw. Coventry are in the top 4. I don't know what they come for, but they just got annihilated.
Yeah. Well, mate, great.
So I mean, if Hull are looking at that, they're not going to come and just think, oh yeah, we'll just attack them, because we'll just annihilate them. So I reckon they'll probably come for the draw.
Yeah, punish them.
And it's just up to us to break them down, really. And if we play like we've been playing, can't see why not. Because we've gone into these twice, actually. Well, 3 times. You know, Peterborough at home. No, 3-0 that was. We scored 3 quick goals against Swansea. All right, we ended up, you know, changed what happened in the second half, but then Coventry 4-0 up at half time. This is a team that's been doing all right, so
Yeah.
they're not going to come and try and attack us. You know,
No.
they're gonna sit back and look to counter and get the best out of their set pieces, etc. And it's down to us to break them down. I think no, a clean sheet. I reckon 3-0.
3-0, geez.
Yeah, I reckon we're on the way up. I don't think there's going to be another setback at some point, but it's not going to be against them.
No, I can't see that. I'm going to drop a lineup I would play. So see if you agree. I'd go with I'd probably go with a 4-3-3. You know.
Yeah, same.
So I'll go Sluber in goal. I would go Bree right back. Centre backs, I would go. I'll let Reece Burke and Lockyer play together, personally.
Yeah.
I think
so he might do that.
Yeah, I think Bradley needs that break as we
Yeah,
said.
he might do that. That's what I'm saying. But
yeah.
The only reason I was saying it because I was thinking, well, who would be the captain? Because it'd be interesting. Because normally it'd be Bradley or Naismith, and they're both not playing. Then maybe who would give it to?
Maybe Lockyer, I think.
Possibly. Or Lansbury.
Yeah.
You know, experience and that. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, left back, I would play Bell because obviously you can't play Naismith. Now midfield, I would go Ruddock, Berry, and probably Clark as the number 10.
Yeah.
And then up top, I would go Fred on. He plays on the left, don't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred on the left. I always get confused if it's left or right. Cornick on the right, and then Adebayo through the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I go. My score prediction. Yeah, I think this will be a win. I'll go for 4-0.
Yeah, that confident, yeah.
Yeah, I'm that confident, yeah. I just think the position they're in, and as you said, Luton are on a roll at the moment. So,
they are, yeah. The performance, even if, you know,
even the games that have been draws, bar Swansea, they've been fights.
Exactly, yeah, and you know, if we'd have picked up, you know, a couple more points, which potentially we could have done, we probably would be in the playoffs. That's, you know, and we've had injuries and all sorts. So I
Yeah,
can see how it
exactly.
goes. I've seen them play in League One. I've seen them play in League. I've seen very, it's very similar. Yeah, it's a tougher league, but it's still very similar. And the case was we were so good at attacking that no one could control us.
No.
And there's a lot of that you can see coming through. It's not as potent as it was then, but you can see it's getting there.
Yeah.
And once that clicks and that's in place, we beat anyone in that league. So it'd be interesting to see the second, when we play the tougher teams in the second half of the season, Bournemouth and Fulham and West Brom and who's Stoke at the moment.
Yeah.
See what happens when we play them again. Because that'll be a judge, that'll be a good indicator.
Yeah,
Because if
definitely.
you're losing twice to them teams, yeah, they're Premier League experience and all that. But if you then you can judge how far you are getting on.
Yeah.
But last season I think we beat Bournemouth last season.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not getting hammered. Last time we got hammered, like properly hammered. I'm not including Birmingham because that just in that league by a decent team was Brentford.
Yeah.
7. Yeah, when we had the mighty Graham Jones.
Who is now officially the Newcastle manager, mate.
Yeah, he's the manager of the richest club in the world.
Oh my god.
In the universe, you know what I mean?
He's gonna get Izzy Brown now.
He was terrible. He's got no defensive nous at all. That guy. We let in 88 goals when he was in charge.
That is ridiculous.
We would have let him more if he didn't leave and Nathan Jones came. You know what I mean? We probably would have got relegated. And Newcastle who went there, they've let him bet loads of goals. He's an attacking coach. Like he's stats and he is a good coach. I believe he's a good coach, but I don't think he's just. I think he's
got
too
it as a manager.
one dimensional or something. Do you know what I mean? Like he hasn't got that all round. There's something missing, and he needs to add to that. He's obviously well respected, but he's. I want to find out who they're playing because I want to watch it and see how they actually go on. But he's just there. He's just there while they're interviewing, whoever they want in. He's not going to be there. And
they've got a tough game. They've got Crystal Palace away.
Right. I think that's on Sky as well. But yeah, he's just going to be there just to hold the fort basically for a couple of weeks, if that.
Yeah.
And depending who comes in, he'll be gone. All right, it'll be interesting to see where he goes now because he does yo-yo between clubs. You know what I mean? Obviously, he left us mutual consent. When we got him, he was assistant manager at West Brom. Then when he left us, he went to Bournemouth.
Yeah, he did.
Assistant. Then, like 6 months after that, he went to Newcastle. So he's being headhunted. Do you know what I mean? Clearly, or and then we went to England as well for a little while.
Yeah.
So he's obviously respected, and then he's back to Newcastle. He's just a weird guy. Like, and that's what I'm gonna say. People he'll be interviewing before and after the game. Do you know what I mean? And we've seen what the crap he comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what's he going to say about Palace. It'd be interesting. Because some of the lines he used to come out with when he's when we lost to Forest, or they're former European champions, and what fucking 40 years ago, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Relevant to say that, and then we're Little Luton, and without a player that I've signed on loan, we're getting relegated. how stupid things that all them Luton players have fought all the way up to get to get promoted and trying to establish themselves in the Championship. He's talking about them as if they're not good enough.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When a lot of
And
them
now
players are still at the club now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cornick, Ruddock, you know what I mean? He signed somebody, Slugar. You know what I mean? What you want about, mate? But, yeah, probably a couple of players, but they're gone anyway. But we've still got a lot of them players. A lot of them players. And the players that he signed, most of them are gone. Bar Bree, I think, Slugar. But don't forget, Mick Harford was down to a lot of that recruiting as well. So, the players he got on loan, they've done nothing for us. Who was the left back? I can't even remember. I think he was from Villa. No, not from Villa. Man City. Like, I can't even remember who he was. Like,
I'm not too sure.
where's he now? He was terrible. McManaman. Like, had a couple of good moments, but no consistency. Tunnicliffe, same. Most of the players he signed, just fucking, not consistent players. Yeah, got good technical ability. They've been in the Championship, Premier League, whatever, but they're not consistent. Do you know what I mean? They're not consistently playing. And that's what the players we've signed. With experience from Lansbury, brilliant midfielder for that level. Like, Jerome, backup, lot of experience.
Premier League experience as well.
Yeah, so it's not about we're going to maintain a Premier League position with them players, because we're not. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But learning from them and being an established Championship club, you've got to have them sort of players. You're not just signing them. Just we'll give him a go. Oh, he's played in the Champion. You know what I mean? They've got to be consistently good. We've made, we signed Morel. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He just not good enough. And the one, and that was who Jones signed as well.
Yeah.
So it does happen. You're going to get dud signing out of you start signing 9 players or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get one that doesn't work out, and that was him. He's just not. Portsmouth. Him and Tunnicliffe are both playing in Portsmouth centre midfield at the moment, and they're doing absolute nothing. They got hammered again, I think, last night. They're trying to be looking at getting promoted from that League One, and they're not. They're like 15th or something, and they're probably going to sack manager. He's just he was good. He's good passer of the ball, but
Yeah.
I think he's like a defensive midfielder. Do you know what I mean? We need someone to be pushing forward and stuff, and he weren't getting in the team because of that. And then obviously our Billy Big Bollocks, I'm getting into the Wales squad in the Euros. I should be playing. Doesn't work like that. Look at him now. And the thing is as well, he weren't getting games at Bristol City either when we signed him. And you got to think, well, why is that? So yeah, he's decent, but he's not a Luton player, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
He's
no,
not,
I get you.
he hasn't got
He
a
clearly
drive.
didn't seem to suit the style as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that, and he maybe weren't prepared to change, because Nathan Jones will make players, as much as he can, develop them. Same Moncur. Moncur would never track back, and if he did track back, he, remember, you could say that penalty against Man United.
Yeah.
We need players that are going to do their job, what they're told to do, and if they can't do it, or they're not willing to do it, then they'll be gone. It's all about the attitude as well. And Graham Jones he's just a weird guy. He's obviously good at something, I think what it is he does all this new stats and analytics and all that.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a monitor in his hand and he's analysing this, that, and the other. And I think he's probably ahead of his game with that. And I think that might be, and obviously some of it works. You know, maybe he looks at certain situations that develop and then goes over it and go, right, well, when we done that 1-2 pass there, or we done this movement, we we were creating more chances and we're getting more, that sort of thing, dangerous positions and that. And that's why he's obviously ahead of his game at that. And that's why he's getting, why would Gareth Southgate pull him in for the Euros? Do you know what I mean? Don't forget, before that as well, he was assistant manager to Belgium.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
he's obviously, but his man management, I don't think it's good. I just don't think it's good, and I don't think he's going to get respected by them players at Newcastle.
No.
No, well, some of them, yeah, maybe, but yeah, they're going to concede loads of goals, mate, if he's while he's there, because he's just got no, and I can see him just kicking off, and it'll be interesting to hear what he says, and that will get mentioned, Oh, the last time he was the first time he was a manager was at Luton. They're going to talk about that, and it's going to be mentioned. We, basically struggling, but you guarantee what he'll say. He'll be like, well, that they weren't, they'd only come up from League One, and their players ain't as good as what we've got. He's going to come out of all this bull crap. But then when you think about it, when the reality is we've still got a lot of them players now. We're in the top 10 in the championship, so don't be spouting out that nonsense.
Yeah, true.
It's not true, is it?
No.
Without Izzy Brown, Luton are going to get relegated. I mean, who the fuck's Izzy Brown? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing for Preston. He's got injured. He went on loan to Sheffield Wednesday last season. They got relegated. He's got talent, the player, but he was lazy.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? He weren't we've got better players now than him. So for him to say that nonsense is just because we loaned him from Chelsea. I can't believe he's still at Chelsea, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he was only on loan to Preston, but he's injury prone as well, and he was with us.
Very true. Very true.
He was decent, but not. Again, another one not consistent enough. Same like when Nathan Jones loaned Tom Ince, mate. He was shit.
Yeah, remember when I was trying to pick him up?
Plenty of
I thought
talent.
it'd be good, mate. I thought it'd be
Yeah,
good.
because he's got talent, but I don't know. Maybe just thought he's too big for Luton. You know what I mean? You should get players like that, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I'm too big for this club. Who are you? And that's what certain them players are going to be like with Graham Jones.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he's been there a while. They know him. They'll probably give him something, but deep down, they're not going to stay in that team, because potentially a few years down the line, they're going to be competing with the elite. But them players ain't going to be staying in there. Most of them. The only one, their best players maximum.
Yeah, what a player he is. What a player he is.
They don't need to, because they've got this money. Anyone offers him, they can't beat whatever Newcastle are going to offer him. Real Madrid, whoever comes in, PS we'll give you 100. We'll give you 600 grand a week. Newcastle will give 700 grand a week. You know what I mean? Like, so I'd say that he'll probably be there for the journey.
Yeah.
I can't see, well, even if they get relegated, I think they still probably if they didn't have that money, it'd be gone. 100%. But because they've got that money, I still think that it'll stay. And if they can keep certain players, if they get relegated, everyone's like, yeah, but they're not going to be able to sign certain players because who's going to want to play in the Championship? But certain players will, because they'll be expected, especially if they do sign in certain players, they'll smash the crap out of the Championship.
Yeah.
Obviously, the media, and all the, social people and that, they're all going on, yeah, this is what their team's going to look like, but they're going to try and sign Haaland and no, they're not.
No.
Just because you got the money, people ain't going to just necessarily go there. They probably will be able to sign certain decent players.
Yeah.
But not them type of players yet.
No.
Them type of players will want to go to top. They want Champions League football. They want to get into their national team.
Yeah.
They need to be playing at the highest level to maintain that. So they're not going to go to Newcastle yet. And that's what they've got to understand. This ain't FIFA, it's real life. But they will be able to sign certain decent players, you know what I mean? That they can come in and go, someone, like Sarr, for instance, from Watford. Even if they got relegated, then Watford get relegated, be like, right, we'll have him. We'll outbid everyone for him. Do you know what I mean? And that's what they'll start doing. They'll pick the best players from what they can, certain teams they can. Even West Ham players. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. They'll just go in for them. And the players, if they're being offered triple the wages they're on, they'll drop down a league for one season.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Like the mid-table teams and that. Do you know what I mean? They'll drop down, definitely. But yeah, I don't know Luton showing that, but it's kind of related. I was talking about Graham Jones and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, exactly. What I was going to ask you with Newcastle, do you see someone like a Coutinho going there?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
You do,
because I think he has unfinished business in the Premier League. They'll offer him a good wage.
Don't want him.
Yeah. I could see him going there and re-establishing himself, because sometimes players need to do that. They don't just slot back in. I'll just go Chelsea. Or I'll just go thing. Because sometimes don't wait. You need to go out. Look at Lukaku. He weren't cutting it. He went for a bit of a drab spell when he went to Man United. So he took on a new challenge, got his confidence back, and that, and he's doing it for Chelsea as well. I know he's slack. I don't think he's scored for a couple of games though, is he? But
he's having a bit of a.
Yeah, but I think some of that's down to the way that Chelsea are playing at the moment. You know what I mean?
They are playing pretty. Yeah, exactly.
But he's already come in and scored anyway, so it ain't like you can't see. Sometimes players need that. So yeah, I can see him doing that. Right. If they were a bit more, if it was a couple of years down the line, then I could have seen Wijnaldum going back there. But I don't know about now. I think it's too early. He ain't going to go to a championship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And as you said, he literally just joined PSG.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't work out for certain players. And this is another thing that Newcastle got to learn. Like PSG, just because you're signing these, he was wicked at Liverpool. Same as Coutinho. They left.
Yeah.
Went to these other clubs and they're doing shit, mate.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Sometimes Sterling, at first he weren't doing great at Man City. But then he started. But I've heard that he might go back to Liverpool, so who knows? But
did you hear what he said about if he got offered to go somewhere else, he would accept it? Basically, did you see that?
Yeah, well, he obviously knows that he's not. He's not priority anymore. Pep's like that. It's all just as you, and then just gets rid quite, once he thinks that you don't fit into his plans anymore, no matter how good you are, you'll be gone. So, there'll be plenty of teams looking for him, but I feel he needs to stay in England because of, I just do, because he's.
Yeah, I think he should stay in England.
It suits his style of play. If he goes to a league where they're a bit slower and all that, and he's just gonna probably get caught offside. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't think it suits him going to Spain or whatever. So I think he needs to stay in England, and obviously he wants trophies still.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see him going back, but would fans forgive him? That's the thing.
Me personally, he's obviously he's a class player, but I don't know if I'd want him. As a Liverpool fan, I don't know, because obviously Mane's there as it is anyway.
Well, yeah, at the moment he is, but you need that strength and depth as well, don't you? Yeah.
True. I mean, Jota can play left wing as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So you probably don't really need him, but maybe he'll go to Newcastle.
Yeah, I could see that.
But they need to start. Yeah, in January they are going to try and sign. So they are. The fact they're being quick about it. Everyone knew Bruce was going. They're obviously already tapping up people, getting in contact with people.
Yeah, definitely.
8 managers that they want. Grant Jones probably knows that he ain't going to be the manager. And might even be, because normally, a new manager will come in and he'll bring in his own backroom staff.
Yeah.
And so it'd be interesting to see where it goes. He'll probably end up it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up at Watford in the background. He don't care. He's got no loyalty, that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see where he actually goes. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last thing we're going to touch on, you know what I'm saying, before we wrap up this first episode, is obviously we're going to talk about the championship table. Now, Luton are currently sitting 9th. You know what I'm saying? And as I said,
that live league table.
Yeah, live. It's updating. You know what I'm saying? Not Huddersfield. Sorry, Middlesbrough are now 10th due to their currently 1-0 up. Coventry are up to 3rd. So yeah, it's proper updated at the moment. But yeah, as I was going to say, obviously depending on other results as well, there's a possibility we could be in them playoffs by Saturday night.
Yeah. Well, again, what tends to happen with some Luton fans is they get a bit ahead of themselves, and we could get in the playoffs and then lose a couple of games, or don't pick up as many points, and they'll be like, oh, what's going? You know what I mean? What's going on? Start just lower your expectations a little bit. Be a bit more realistic. You know what I mean? We're working towards something. If you can't see we haven't improved, then what you've been watching? Do you know what I mean? Just take, be happy that we're not going in the position that Portsmouth are going. Sunderland, even though they're coming back now. We're not being a yo-yo team. Wickham. Peterborough look like they're going to be that. So it's not like we're fighting relegation, and I don't think we will be.
No. Not now. No chance.
We're established team, and that's the base you want, considering all this financial difficulties and that. And every season there's going to be teams that are going to get points deducted, and we ain't going to be one of them. because they're constantly, whoever doesn't go up this season, they might be pushing it, and then the next season, I mean, look at Barnsley last season, playoffs, lost their manager, lost their best midfielder player, struggling now this season.
Yeah.
Going for it. And they've got a lot of money as well. But sometimes if you lose a manager and you don't replace him with someone of the same ilk, the same. When we recruit managers, we try and recruit someone of that, that ethos that we believe in. They've got to fit into that mold. Doesn't matter. If like Mourinho, I'll say he wouldn't fit in. He'd come in and go, right, I'm playing this way, and that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have to believe in the ethos of the club, and that's where certain clubs go wrong. So, yeah, the tables don't lie. Like saying, possibly be in the playoffs and we'll win. Only just, but even if not, like, even if we, we'll be outside of it regardless. Do you know what I mean? We'll be into it, and then we'll see where we are January.
Yeah.
After the Christmas build up of games and that's
when you can start to proper
then maybe talk about
predict, really, isn't it?
Yeah, playoffs. If we got promoted in the Premier, I think we'd go back down, mate. I don't think we got decent ability, but that's next level, isn't it?
Mm.
And we ain't. We'll be able to recruit some players. Do you know what I mean? Based on the money that we'll get. But more than anything, we'll get 60, 70 million if we went up through the playoffs. Bang, we're paying for the stadium. I don't care if we get relegated. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
We're building up and just keep that momentum. Obviously you'll get there. Yeah, Luton, they're going to get straight. Yeah, but I'll expect it. I ain't going to expect what can you expect? We've got to expect that we're going to get relegated.
Yeah.
You've got to be realistic. Anything else is a bonus. But I know for a fact that we would be causing some shocks. Definitely.
Yeah.
And, beating teams that we haven't beat for a long time or played for a long time. A lot of teams will underestimate us, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's all part of the journey. But we'll see where we are in January. And what we need going forward. I think we possibly will bring in a midfielder. Depending if we get any injuries as well, of course. And then the real recruitment, we'll just start in the summer. We always get it done early. Everyone's like, "Wow, transfer deadline day and all that." To me, that's like a panic thing, isn't it? You wait until the deadline day to try and sign someone. Why don't you sign him already?
Yeah, to try and get him used to the team and that is already.
Hype, and it's just a hype thing.
Mm.
January is a dodgy time to be signing players as well, so I don't think we'll be signing that many players, depending on the situation. Maybe a midfielder, because I think we was after one. Didn't work out or whatever, but again, we'll recruit well. It'll probably be someone young up and coming. And there's a few players in League One who fit that criteria. So we'll see. I think we look at again the under-23s from the Premier League again.
Yeah.
Similar to what Brentford are doing. So we'll see where we are in January.
Yeah. Well, obviously that has been the first episode of this Hatters show. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you've enjoyed it, Dad. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
You know what I'm saying? I was just looking now. Next week, we'll probably do it on Tuesday because Liverpool are playing on Wednesday against Preston in the Cup. if you're available to do it on Tuesday, of course.
Yeah, they're just warming up for us, so we got them after you.
Yeah. And obviously we will, well, as I said, we're both going to the Luton game. Obviously, I'll do a reaction to it. Dad, if you want to come on that as well,
Yeah,
you'll
probably.
react with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, obviously, preview, talking about the two previous games Luton had. So yeah, we will see you guys on Saturday together for the vlog. You know what I'm saying? And then a match reaction, or I might do the match reaction with the vlog. I don't know. I'll see. You know what I'm saying? But there'll definitely be a vlog. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. And yeah, we will see you guys in a bit. So take care and peace.